ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
Let them know and then email me or text me the narrative that you want to. I'm pretty good with language and corporal as well, so if you need a little tweaking with maybe a story, we'd be glad to assist with that. And with your blessing, we're going to just kind of put it in our books, English promotion, and things like that to just kind of get the human story of Savannah out. So I'm going to let Sam introduce himself, just sort of say a little something about who you are, and I will continue on.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I've been living in Savannah since about 2009. I came here to go SCAD for historic preservation, and I've been, in a past life I went to school for art, so I've always had a camera in my hand for a long time. Kind of been working as a way to combine my art past and what I learned in SCAD for historic preservation, like and stuff. My full-time job is actually working for the city cemeteries. This lovely lady over here is my coworker. I'm surprised to see her. Great. Again, I'm really looking forward to participating and engaging in public documentary today. Thank you.
OAA at Finesse Barbershop, talking about putting a neighbor in the hood community.
I don't know if y'all saw that 11th hour email, but I did send one of the pictures that he took of Corporal actually. It's a really nice shot. And just let us know. So house rules, be polite, pun intended, Mr. Polite. Dignity, be concise in your statements, so share the floor. Respect the mic if somebody is speaking, let's not interrupt. And no hijacking. So I did want to have an opportunity for people to kind of talk about what was important to them. But my hijack is to take over the conversation and take us elsewhere where we could go, but we are choosing not to in this phase. So if there's anything, house rules that folks want to kind of put in a circle to feel like they are part of this community.
OAA, Finesse Barbershop Community Conversation.
So if there are no further additions, I'm going to semi-unilaterally ratify the house rules, and that's what we're going to abide by in the circle. Is Mr. Polite around?
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to pass it to you to honor the shop. If you want to say any opening words, just to kind of set the tone for the evening.
Well, welcome y'all. Thank you very much for participating. Hope we got some good dialogue and discuss some matters and come to some positive and help conclusion. So let's get at it.
All right, so, yeah, didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I wanted to make sure we honored you as
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Maybe we can get everybody to say their name and introduce.
Yeah, that's like the next part.
Okay, I'll start.
So I'm going to start with our unpanel. So the unpanel means that they're going to kind of lead a couple of conversations where everybody's included in a circle. So you can let everybody know who you are, and my understanding is everybody finds out who you are by your high school and what side of town you live on. So I went to Payne High School in New York, and I grew up in the Bronx, and I live on the east side now the last year. So, Fred.
My name's Fred Green, everybody. Gary's over by Tory Green, so I'm going with name interchangeable. I grew up here in Savannah, ran around everywhere, with the Jenkins, from off the east side as well as the west side. I'm the founder of Filling the Gaps Outreach, and my motto is restoring lives and repairing bridges. And so what I wanted to do is have this work with OA and work with 3025 to have this conversation about restorative justice.
I don't know if you want me to share this or wait, which is actually for earlier.
You can do it now.
Can I do it now? Okay. Before I kind of introduce myself, I want to share a poem with you guys. It's called Restore. Walking on a ledge between reality and the meaning of life as they follow. One by one, you stand with cavalry and they turn and run. You show your fullness and they realize they are empty inside. Eternity in your hand that you scatter like a tree in fall, blanketing the ground to lessen the blow, the impact, the emptiness. You predict the start of what you really are and determine the fall in the story. To break the walls and bring down the separation, to punch a hole in the very fabric of time and space, and to stop time that was pouring past like an hourglass. To halt the communication barriers and restore the flow of electricity, the exchange of thoughts, and the true meaning of happiness. That's by Matthew Boyce-Jolie. My name is Sharisa Prelo. I'm the Director of Restorative Practices and Community Outreach at Mediation Center of the Coastal Empire here in Chatham County. Not only am I a director, I'm a youth advocate, I'm an author, I'm a sister, I'm a mom, a granddaughter, I'm a friend. My school is HBJ Jenkins, Warrior Stand Up.
Warrior.
Okay. Yes. I was half military brat, so I've lived all over. So yes, now I reside in Effingham County, but my whole entire family is right here in Savannah. So I still have a mission. No matter where I lay my head, no matter where my foundation continues, my fight is here in Chatham County. My fight also is about restorative justice, and especially our young people, giving them a voice, giving them an opportunity, giving them options. Don't take their voice away. And that's a little bit about it.
I'm going to go to Julius, and then I'm going to get to everybody else.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Julius Campbell. I'm the program director for OAA Savannah. That stands for Offender Alumni Association. I'm also here with my colleagues and friends. We also represent verbal and visual intervention, where we are passionate about our youth. I did 26 years in the Georgia prison system. This is my stomping ground, West Savannah. What up? And I'm just excited to be in the space. Thank you.
My name is Carrie is my name that people that know me call me by, but my work name I go by CJ Smith. I am coordinator for the Georgia Coalition of the People's Agenda, which covers this 1st Congressional District. We're a voter advocacy organization, but we also, because the nature of our work with environmental rights, civil rights, and voting rights, we are here for restorative justice, and we are a restorative justice employer. We actively go to different places to hire people, and we are we're here just to be in the room.
Well,
Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Bullock. It's truly an honor to be here. I come from New Orleans, raised in Washington, D.C. Mackin High School, the basketball powerhouse in my day, the 70s. I'm here in Savannah. I moved here about 7 years ago to be close to my mom. West Savannah is a place that I love, and I'm doing a lot with Marsha Buford in West Savannah Neighborhood Association. I run a consulting firm called Genesis that looks to support nonprofit organizations, primarily helping with their capacity building, looking for opportunities to support them through grant funding as well. So hopefully I can help and provide some funds to this project that you're working on.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
What's up?
Gentleman in the corner,
Stino.
just want to recognize you.
Say hey,
Yeah, we all family in here, so if y'all getting a cut, we still consider y'all, part of the
So
conversation.
give it to the great brother right here.
All right.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Stafford, young black man from Savannah, Georgia, trying to make it. That's all I can say. Married with 4 kids. I can tell y'all God working mysterious ways. Because I've been thinking about how to start a program that gives the kids that made a bad mistake in their life a second chance without it being in the prison system. See when we can get together and meet the DAs and see if we can send them to the military instead of them being 20, 30 years in prison. We can go in the military and learn structure. Because I work in spirit ways. I don't have an idea of how to start it. It's just something that came to me. And I'm like, wow. But I'm listening and see, and I speak with you guys and get information from me and see how we can come up with an idea. Because if we won't do it, it won't get done.
All Black Media, Ink to Ink, Julius Campbell, Marie Jones, live, Finesse Barbershop.
Well, welcome. I think you're in the right place. I think we're all soldiers of community, so not military per se, but definitely like to have a conversation with you. So, our lovely camera woman.
Hi, my name is Marie. My name is Marie, and I'm a part of OAA, Offender Alumni Association. And I'm here with my team, Julius Campbell and Mr. Fred Green. And I love, my passion is for the youth. I'm very, very passionate for them. And I just wish that, I know we can't save everybody, but I want to. I would love for all the babies to be saved. So that's all I got to say.
That's what's up. Marie Jones, Ink to Ink, All Black Media, y'all.
here to listen, really, to be honest with you. My name's Narius. Narius Smith's my father right there. You can't tell, it's here looking like it. I like listening to group conversations. I really just want to hear what y'all say you. I still got a little bit more youth left in me, but I love hearing you talk.
And you told us earlier what you wanted to be a graduate, right? Tell them what you graduated.
I'm going to Kennesaw State to be a structural engineer, kind of under civil engineering. I'm gonna try to make it work.
Congratulations, yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Coco Gaffer-Happy. I work with Code at Peak Center, born and raised in Savannah. A Jenkins grad, so happy to be in a room full of Jenkins grad. We just get smoked by Savannah High sometimes. And born and raised in the Ridgewood neighborhood, and just happy to be here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Takesha Brown. I serve as the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for the City of Savannah. I'm just here to listen and learn and be in community with folks. I'm originally from South Carolina. I'm from a small town called Moncks Corner. If you've ever been to Moncks Corner, you go to Charleston. Yeah, go over there and follow the mosquitoes, and you'll find my folks. That's who we are. I've been in Savannah for about 7-ish years. I've lived in Georgia for almost 10 years. I came here to work at Georgia Southern University, and so most of my experience is working with higher education folks, mentoring programs, diversity education, mentorship, and really just helping folks learn more about the value of diversity and all of those things. And then I'm new to Savannah to continue that work. I'm excited to lead the efforts of the city, both looking at our policies internally and figuring out opportunities for us to do a better job of promoting diversity and equity throughout the Savannah area as well.
Good evening. I go by Rabbi. That's my son. One of 5, father, also concerned citizen, community participant. Curious as to what solutions are out there in regards to having an effect on, I think this is about stop the violence. So the systemic issue that we have, that one of the issues that seems to show itself is violence within our community. This brother that owns the barbershop here, Mr. Gary Polite, him and I have been friends for some time. And the barbershop has happened to be a place where we've had quite a few conversations about this issue as well as the other issues. So it's great to see you all come to a place where we actually talk about things, because oftentimes we have solutions here to some of the issues that in regards to the city. You see people in positions talk about these things, but I don't know if they are posturing for the positions, but oftentimes what they're doing and the solutions that they come up with. Just to give you an idea, preachers marching and we shall overcome has seen its day. That's an antiquated ideology, and it serves nothing. It serves nothing. It soothes people when they're hurting after a death or a crime, in that case, but it is not medicine, good medicine at all. It's just, it's just a pack. But we actually need fixes, and we actually need solutions. So interested in getting what everyone has to say in that regard.
All right. Get everybody? All right, I'm gonna pass it to Coco, got a little handout that she's gonna touch on. But I wanted Coco to just kind of speak on some of the larger work that we do. You might hear about legislation, of course, going to Atlanta and Justice Day, and she often gives a good reason like why that stuff is important. It just makes it plain. So I'm gonna pass it to Coco. I do have a handout for you.
Well, good evening, y'all. I tend to mumble sometimes, so if I kind of trail off and start rambling, just feel free to call me out. I think I just wanted, I'm very appreciative of what you just just said, right? The solutions are often found in barbershops, right? That is, I think, you know, in our experience at Deep, that's probably the truest thing.
Outside of the incorporation.
Look, and our solutions to whatever issue it is has to be generated by people, right? So often when we see top-down solutions, we're only addressing a little bit of the problem, we're only addressing one facet of the problem, and it's usually the people who are closest to the pain or need to be closest to the power because they are closest to the solution. And the way that sort of looks like for us at Deep at least is that O is going out there in the neighborhoods and talking with people and just trying to make plain a lot of what is being decided here in the state of Georgia. And I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that did happen this session that was positive, but I think the biggest thing I wanted to talk about tonight is a new law here in Georgia called SB 63. Just out of like a show of hands, like, and I'm saying this with no judgment, how, you know, are people familiar with the Georgia General Assembly? Raise your hand, yes or no. Okay. Has anyone heard anything about SB 63? Yes or no? Right. Okay, good. So, I think it's important to situate ourselves in the fact that Georgia, it's not if you know someone who's been impacted, it's who you know, right? And so almost half the people in our state have some sort of a record, right? Some sort of encounter with the justice system, have been court involved, been formerly incarcerated, or currently incarcerated. And we lead in the nation with arrests, with people on probation, highest amount of people on probation for the longest amount of time. We have private probation, which makes things really, it makes it financially feasible to keep people on there as long as possible. And so one of the things that we fought against and we've been fighting against for the past few years that unfortunately passed is a new law called SB 63. And ultimately it creates bail restrictions, right? And I want to be really clear. I think when I say bail, everyone knows what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
So there are certain offenses out there that probably should be bail restricted, right? So murder, rape, like these are like mechanisms that are there to protect people and to protect public safety, right? Except the only issue is we also know that cash bail creates a two-tier system where if you can afford to buy your freedom, you can get out. If you cannot, you sit in jail.
Right.
And so, you know, I don't think this is like mind-bending new knowledge to anyone, but one of the things that we did see this past session is that SB 63 did three things, right? Three big things. The first is that it basically took away local autonomy from counties and from local judges to use something known as own recognizance or unsupervised judicial release. What does that mean? So here in Chatham County, if you get caught with a marijuana possession charge, usually one of two things can happen. One, you are underneath the City of Savannah code and also the county code. You can get hit with a citation where you just have to pay $100 and you go on your way, right? You are not arrested, you're not fingerprinted, you don't go to jail. You know, it's a fine, which we can get into that later, but there's no tether to the justice system, right? In other cases where like you might be charged for criminal trespass or something, normally what would happen is you might get arrested, but you also might get released on an OR bond or an unsupervised judicial release, which means the judge that you are seeing is saying, this is not really a threat to public safety. I don't think that this person is going to do any harm. I think that they're probably a good citizen in their community, and I think we should probably let them go, right?
Right.
So that you are not in the jail leading up to your court date, right? Whatever happens in the court date is whatever happens. But ultimately, it's to keep people out of the jail who don't need to be in the jail, right? So unfortunately, what this bill does is that it strips that decision-making power away from judges or from counties. So another really good example is in Chatham County, if you are someone who is homeless, you will often get popped with a criminal trespass charge, right? It is a very common thing because we haven't figured out how to take care of unhoused people. And so what happens is someone will be arrested on criminal trespass. They will be taken to our jail. Our sheriff will not book them within the jail. Because they're like, there's no reason we need to book this person in the jail, right? However you feel about, you know, the political climate of our sheriff and all of that in the election year, I'm not even going into that. But our sheriff has recognized that having someone who is homeless sitting in the jail, waiting for, waiting to be released by a judge for a court date they probably are not going to come back to because they don't have housing, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make social sense. It doesn't make personal sense, right? It is a waste of everyone's time. So that power has been stripped away. Right? The second thing that this bill does is that it has created a new category of bail restrictive offenses, so about 30 plus offenses. And if you look on the back of the sheet, you'll see a majority of those offenses. Some of those already have bail restrictions in place, right? So battery, anything that is like domestic violence related and or DUI related as a misdemeanor is usually bail restricted, right? And again, there's a lot of context around that, around personal and public safety. But if you look at this list, some of the things that we have now said, if you are arrested for this offense, you go to jail, you're arrested, you're booked, you're fingerprinted, you have your mugshot taken, and you sit in jail until you can get in front of a judge and or until you can make your bail, right? So those things include marijuana possession, which in the city of Savannah and Chatham County is an ordinance violation, right? But if an officer charges you with a misdemeanor, it is now you go sit in jail until you can make bail. Another one is a fray. Anyone know what a fray is? Yeah. What's a fray?
Fighting in the public.
Yeah. You know what's a really common charge for young people fighting in school?
I got locked up for that one
A
time.
fray. So, yeah. So if you're under 17 years old, this isn't that big of a deal. But if you are 17 years old, legally in the state of Georgia, you are an adult, right? And so we have 17-year-old kids who might get in a fight at school because they're kids, and that is what kids do, right? They have now gone from possibly it being handled within the school to if police or law enforcement get involved, that could be a bail restriction charge, right? Other ones include things like, you know, unlawful assembly. So if you're like, I'm mad about this thing and I'm going to go down to City Hall to like protest, you can be arrested, and that is a bail restricted offense, right? What else in here? Reckless driving, failure to appear. So if you get, you know, a traffic ticket and you don't show up for your court date because the address you have on your driver's license is not the same place as where you live, and you miss your court date, you are now able to be arrested and booked and sitting in jail on a bail restricted charge, right?
So let me ask you a question.
No, please.
Is this issue about, because I've often questioned the discretionary leeway that officers have at a number of these things that you mentioned, to be able to either say, hey, have a good day, or take someone's freedom away. There's too much discretion in that for police officers. That's really what gives them, you know, and not the same thing against police officers, because I know quite a few individuals who have become police officers. I've known them before law enforcement. And to say that, I'm to say that they are normal people who are prone to mistakes like all of us. So you take an average Joe and you give him the authority to have the discretion to either take someone to jail for jaywalking or send them on their way. That's just too much room. So I think one issue that you got here is this bail, them being categorized as these bail offenses. But the other thing is we need to tighten some of the laws on what the leeway is. It's either a crime worth going to jail for, or it's something that someone should be sent on their way. That room of, don't worry about it going away, to go to jail is too much room. That's just too much room. And a lot of times it's dictated by that officer's day. If he's had a bad lunch, bad argument with his wife, headache, his judgment is clouded, or if he's using narcotics or something, it's too much to give a person that they individually can just say, you know, I'm going to take you to jail today or send you home.
No, I'm super glad you brought that up, because one of the things, I'm gonna talk about some of the work that Keisha and I have been working on about how we're trying to correct that. But I saw that you also had your hand raised.
Yeah, so my
Oh, I mean, my friend, your Savannah homeboy, Clarence Thomas, made sure that I don't go to prison.
So Julius is in there talking to Trump. Ooh, I'm telling.
my question is, what was the motivation behind the state level to get involved at that juncture where that even was introduced into the state house? What motivated that?
It's good for the electoral business, right? Like, I agree, but I'm trying not to peddle in like cynicism, but like the fear, like peddling fear works, right? And unfortunately in our state house, there's a we've gone from, however you felt about Governor Deal, I certainly love those. But during his administration, he piloted some of probably the best criminal justice reform we had seen in this state, right? And it was a bipartisan effort, right? Republicans, Democrats, Independents, whatever, these were folks who came together and said, the way we were doing things is not working. It's not working for anyone, right? It doesn't work for impacted people, it doesn't work for law enforcement, it doesn't work for jails, it doesn't work for us, right? And we have seen a real cultural shift away from that, and I think that comes from the response to George Floyd's murder and people going out in the streets. It comes from, I think, what's happening up with Pop City. It comes from a lot of different places, but ultimately it's motivated by fear, right? I'm just going to say something real quick because there's one last real problematic part of this law, which is it criminalizes bail funds.
Yeah.
It criminalizes any organization, church, business, or individual who gives out who delivers any sort of bond relief more than 3 times a year without registering as a bond assurity. So you have to basically, if someone in my family goes to jail and I have to bond them out, basically there is now a legal notation that says you have bailed out someone for this year, you've got 2 more times. And after that, you have to register as a bail bondsman, right? And so what we have seen from that is not only the one sort of like mode of relief that people had if they didn't want to go to a bail bond company.
I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, you're like, I have some strong thoughts.
Who's initiative in the room? Who's bringing this to our attention? I'm saying, are you bringing it to our attention?
Oh, yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
We're a partner at the state level, but I don't do that stuff locally. That comes from Ms. Helen and our state office.
Good. You say locally?
From our state office.
You're local?
I am local, but I look more like on the voter registration side. But we also support.
You're gonna have me all over the place.
There you go, right
This
there.
is where we have discussions that again here, but. And I'm the guy that doesn't always know how to say things.
Just say it. Just say it. This is the same gas.
Okay, it's safe? Okay, great. Because I normally feel safe everywhere I am, which makes me too comfortable. But this is the thing. I'm looking at a Caucasian woman talk about something that largely affects the African American or black community. I've seen several events lately. We had a thing with Not Related where they unveiled a school downtown, I think on Ellis Square. That's supposed to be the oldest black school, I think, in the state or country or something. and it was probably 50 people there, maybe less than 50. Of that, maybe 10 were black, and of that 10, maybe only 3 were non-City Hall employees. So we seem to have all of these things that affect us, and unless they're spearheaded, because the way you're speaking of it gives me the impression that you're kind of leading the dissemination of this information.
Right.
Whereas if it wasn't a Caucasian woman or Caucasian man telling us about this foolery, we wouldn't even be aware of. I'm not aware of this. And what you're saying is they are really trying to, if I can get this correct, make or eliminate the ability to bond. In other words, you got to go straight to jail and wait until you see a judge. And let me tell you, as a black man with 5 sons, and I've often, and I say I got 5 brothers. I got 4 brothers and 1 biological, but brothers. I got what we call brother cousins. I'm calling that. So I got brothers that my mama fed and washed and told me to be like my brothers. So
Marie
I
Jones,
will
Julius
tell you
Campbell,
the easiest way for a black man is to go to jail.
All Black Media
is
Live,
economics.
Finesse Barbershop.
And that's not making poverty the mayor room to crime, because my family was poor and we weren't criminal. So it's not that I'm saying that poverty equates criminal behavior, but oftentimes we go to jail because of lack of money. I don't know, back in the day, you get stopped, no insurance, like probably now, and that's a suspension.
My partner's 10 years younger than me. He's been in transition from his job to a career job right now. And I wouldn't let him drive for the last month because I knew that he owed a ticket to Fort Wentworth, and if he caught pulled over, even though he was covered under my insurance, he would go to jail. So I was like, you don't pass go, you don't do nothing. Once you pay that ticket, now you can drive. And I was doing that because I have been through that situation when I was at Savannah State. I owed a ticket. My butt got over to the jail. I got booked, everything. Luckily, at that time, I had a roommate that was able to, call us your house, got me out. But I was booked. That joke, it's real. And they will just,
It's a dehumanizing experience. It's humiliating.
And that was 15 years ago.
One of the things that I've been doing, I'm doing a landscape assessment for the United Way, trying to figure out where the challenges and the barriers. And I was shocked to see, if you look at our county jails throughout the state, that more than 90% of the people who are there have not been convicted of anything.
Watch this, brother. When you say 90%, I went to traffic court a year or so ago, and I looked around the traffic court, and I thought, my God, are there no white people in Savannah? The traffic court, so it just said, I don't know why, but just go to traffic court and look at the room, you would think, are black people the only people driving?
And it's worse when you get to some of the rural areas. When you go to Metter, and then they give everybody one sentence. There is no law. They give everybody a blanket sentence. They don't even allow you to talk and ask questions. And it's just, these are your options. We're going to give you this draconian, the worst ever. We're not going to help you. We're not going to work with you. We're going to make sure you understand it's a strict law.
So most of the time you have a court solicitor in those
Yes.
small counties.
Yeah.
And really that's really against federal law. So you're supposed to have the right to due process to talk to a judge or being taken to state court. But what they do with a court solicitor, you talk to the court solicitor, he say, well, we'll reduce your points, we'll reduce your speed, to get you up under the line so you won't get any points on your license. So everybody go out 250, 250, 250. Yeah. And if you go to McIntosh County, I took McIntosh County, Fort Worth with the worst, you might see 300 or 400 people in that day. They got $250 that county, that municipality, that can't be legal. And the federal, they brought up a federal charge in 2004 against Duraville in Georgia, and they won, and the state won, and Duraville had to give money back to some of the citizens in the city. The problem is we don't fight back; we just take it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Would it be easier for me to pay this $250, or for me to take this 78 mile per hour speeding ticket? I'm gonna pay the $250 because I don't need my rate for my insurance going up, and I'm gonna spend the money anyway.
But it don't change.
So
back to her.
But you still don't have to fight because it's easier to pay.
No. So my question was, initially, the motivation behind the state to bring that referendum into an actual bill to put it out on the citizens.
And my question
And
is,
it's money.
why aren't we represented
That's money.
in the arena where this decision is made? Why weren't we represented? Why isn't common sense for people representing the decisions that are being made? I question, because these rooms are not all white. A lot of decisions are made by people of color in rooms with people of color, and
All
we're
black
just not being
media,
represented.
ain't
Or
that
it's
Marie Jones, Julius Campbell, live, Finesse Barbershop.
No, but I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get to him and I'm gonna come back. But the reason why, because even some of us that still do have color is not representing us. And their mindset is, I ain't one of them.
Right.
Them the people you need to get out the office, period.
Right.
You need to get people in there that just say, it's not about color, it's about right and wrong.
From the state house to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, don't sit a roadblock on 37th and Waters, and you won't send one on the landings.
Right.
No, you're not.
No.
Right.
If you're gonna be fair, be fair.
Right.
If we ain't gonna be fair, then let's not
I
be
agree.
fair.
I agree.
But that's why you got a courthouse full of black people, full of black children, and hey, it go unnoticed. And then who are we hiring? Police officer walked up to me in my Challenger the other night, and he thought I was a young kid. He said, I smell liquor. I said, you must be drinking it. All right? He looked at me, I looked back at him. He said, you got license registration? I said, what you think? He said, all right, you have a good night. Let me pull off. Didn't take my license, didn't take my registrations. He was not fishing for someone that was doing wrong.
But he had the
was fishing
discretion
for
there
someone
to possibly
that he
take
could
him to
have
jail.
harassed.
He could have taken him to jail. He could have caused some foolishness like this or some unruly behavior. Too much discretion. So I think he had sense enough to recognize he had sense.
So Coco, this bill is already passed?
It is effective in law as of July.
Wow.
So I will now. We are working on. One, I also want to say like the paying $250 and just being done with it is real, right? Like, but like I will say, locally we are trying to respond to this. We've been trying to respond to it for a while, and so one of the things Takesha and I have been working on is free rights diversion, which I want to be very clear. It's not a perfect solution. It's not. The perfect solution would be, let's go have this. That's my perfect solution.
Why isn't there a perfect solution?
The perfect solution would be to repeal this law.
Why
right?
isn't it? So,
But in the political climate that we are in with our, I would say, with the administration that we have, that is not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen in the next one either, right? There are folks who are working on that, trying to have those conversations. I include myself in there, but I will tell you, we are outnumbered.
did you know, or we're after the fact now. Where was the noise before when this was trying to get passed?
Can I say something? I think that one of the main things, and it's a scripture that says that we perish for lack of knowledge.
Right.
And I think and that's why these circles like this are going to continue and start, so that there can be public awareness.
Before they pass
bills like this, and to bring about that public awareness, so that people can know what's going on, what's happening, and then try to, because we got so many diversionary attacks that's going on.
Right.
And there's so many diversions. You got social media, you got television, you got all these different things, and so it need to be more public conversations.
And I'm not going to break our rule and take us off another subject. I'm not going to do, but I am going to mention that tomorrow on Bull Street, the county commissioners are meeting to raise property taxes. They may go up as much as $300 a month.
On the millage rate?
On the millage rate. They're trying to pass that tomorrow.
So what is the problem?
I want to go back to our conversation.
It's all coexist. The problem is transparency, right? I'm 47 years old. I remember we used to have PSA, public service announcements, right? And sometimes they even had it in a cartoon where someone would come on and they would say, okay, this particular thing is trying to get passed, this particular thing is trying to go through. So it gave the community the visibility to see it before it happens, so they had a choice. Right. We don't have a choice because we don't even know.
Exactly.
I think too sometimes, I don't think it's all the time when the information is not out there. I think people kind of sometimes take things, if it doesn't affect them personally, they kind of like lower their heads. And so I see both sides. I see where it's not out there enough. It's not. But I do also see when it is out there, just like this. Like we have been telling the world about coming to have this conversation.
About this prior to it?
Yes. So, and it's like, if it's not something that affects them personally, or you know what I'm saying, it's like, oh, that it doesn't matter. So where the other day we had that gun violence thing at Savannah Impact, right? We were there, and the people, a lot of people that showed up were people that were impacted by gun violence. We had families and moms that showed up.
We gonna talk about gun violence?
But I'm just saying, get the information out there, and we're trying to do the best we can from all organizations that are here, right? But I guess the question will be, what can we do better? What are the steps that we can do better to make sure that more information get out to more?
So let me do a quick mic check. So this segment, it's called the drugstore, CVS Consciousness Vision Strategy. So in terms of like what you can do, we've been doing this work. There's like Coco and I, a lot of us in the room, Julius, everybody, like we're doing that legislative piece and like going to the state house, but locally just making it plain to everybody. And what we need is more soldiers like yourselves to just go. We can have this phone, but you gotta go directly in the neighborhood and just talk to people directly. So like that's what you see the little part about the canvassing team at the bottom. So that's what we're hoping to do, and just mobilize straight in the neighborhood. So from the west side, whatever side you're from, I got a team of about 4 or 5 people, but we need more. And we just pick a day and we just go canvass, knock on doors, and just make it plain about why it's important. Everybody has a different pitch that they can show up at. So some people can only hear you at the door and say like, I ain't got it like that now. Some people, we try to invite them and maybe see if we could take care of their child care or give a stipend to other kind of events. Other people do want to get involved, and it's just different levels. You could be in a very direct action of just kind of door knocking and canvassing. And then if you want to take like deeper dives, we'll have teachings about like the particulars, basically how Coco broke it down. And that's why I wanted her in this space to just make it plain in this circle so that we can go back to our people and just say, SB 63, here's the basics of it, this is why it's important, it's on the books, this is how we need to move going forward, election year, this, that, and the third. So I wanted to put that out there, and then just for the next few minutes, just honor like what's on folks' mind, and then I did want some of the panelists to just kind of lead us in the streams of conversation.
What social media where's the podcast?
Yeah, so you can check us out on our 912 Deep Center is our IG. We have a Facebook page. You can come to our website. I can give you like my business card and email and number. You can take Coco's information as well. It's on the actually email is on the bottom of that SB63 sheet. And we need soldiers such as yourself if you really want to get busy at whatever level. I know you got family, this, that, and the third. Whatever level you can show up for that work, let us know.
I got 2 more quick things, but I also think, Julius, you're streaming for Offender Alumni Association, yeah? So yeah, Offender Alumni Association, another really great place to check out stuff. So 2 things. I hear you about the lack of knowledge beforehand as opposed to after. Does anyone want to guess quickly how long our state assembly session is? 40 days. 40 days they pass this. Wow. Right? And it's designed that way, right? So they put it in Atlanta where it's 4.5 hours away, and they give themselves 40 days to pass legislation. And they do this in 40 days. And the last thing is that we are working to provide a solution, at least at the local level, for the city of Savannah. Keisha and I work on the real task force, and one of the things that we are pushing forward is pre-arrest diversion. What this means is if you have, probably I would say like 3/4 of the offenses on here would qualify, right? So things like battery are not going to qualify, but the whole idea is that if we can get it approved by the city and we're getting there, but we need help, if someone has an encounter with law enforcement, right? Say they're caught with like marijuana possession, or they just had a fight. Instead of arresting them, booking them, fingerprinting them, mugshot, there is a pause where you can say, okay, I'm going to go do this diversion program, right? Through the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, and there's no record, no court, no record, no arrest, right? That is what we want. We want people diverted away from the justice system.
Well, let me ask you, is that going to be mandated or again within that discretion?
That's the thing that we have to work on.
Because before they would do that, they could just most of the time say, listen, go home, sleep this off, walk this, whatever. So it's to me, it's the discretion that's causing the problem. Because now you're cherry picking who gets leniency and who goes to jail.
Ain't the All Black Media, Julius Campbell, Marie Jones, live. See you later.
The police department, but it is not happening at the police department. It's happening at the Office of Neighborhood Safety.
And I'm worried about our future.
Last one?
I think about my grandkids and the belief that they deserve every opportunity. And what you deserve, what coastal Georgia deserves, is someone who cares more about their community than about corporate profits and big pharma.
I'll see you later.
All right, thank you. Small business owners and hardworking Georgians are the heart of our community.
Good day.
Not CEOs, not lobbyists, not shareholders, but who's taking care of them? It's time to ask yourself, what do you want from your government? This is our year to stand up against what we know is wrong. No more DC politicians invading our home life. No more racism that kills dreams and spreads violence. And no more corporate greed at the expense of workers' rights and our environment.
So what would be the most meaningful help to you?
I've spent the last 8 years working behind the scenes, mobilizing our communities for positive change. And while that is really important work, I can't stand by and allow the same tired politicians to run this country, the same ones who've neglected the real needs of Georgians. I'm ready to take our seat in Congress so I can fight for you and your families.
I vote for you.
Thank you, my darling. I love you. This isn't about party lines. This is about voting for a better future for more Georgians. Enough is enough.
like that.